Welcome to the Military Dads Fitness Podcast. This is the second podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the value of tracking your progress and why you should be tracking your progress. You're going to learn a few things today. We're also going to talk about not only the importance, but I'm going to reveal an exclusive Military Dads Fitness tracking system that we've kind of discovered here in the group that you can use as an effective journaling system to keep yourself accountable. I'm also going to introduce you guys to the Military Dads Fitness dashboard. So that's going to be the membership site. You'll be able to log into this membership site. It's absolutely free. I got a free course in there for you guys. So stay tuned to the end after this podcast and make sure you grab that as well. So we're live here today. If you're watching live, awesome. You guys can respond to anything I say in here. I have the comments pulled up to the side. Feel free to ask me any question there. I'll be sure to be peeking over there to look at those comments. You can watch this podcast on Spotify, on Google Play. What else we got? We got Anchor, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and I'm working on Apple Podcasts. So we're going to be getting on there as well. So we're going to dive on in. I'm waiting a little bit here for my guest that he's going to be joining here hopefully soon. But if not, we're just going to kind of lone wolf it for a minute, and I'll respond to some questions as well. So today, we're talking about tracking progress and journaling. So why is it important? And it's definitely important. I've heard a lot of guys that I've talked to say, well, I don't track it because I've had some failed success or no success in the past because I tracked it and I don't like taking pictures of myself every day and I don't like weighing myself every day. So there's a few things we can unpack here with tracking your progress. Well, one, you shouldn't be weighing yourself every single day. Your weight's going to fluctuate up and down, up and down. So that's not a good system of tracking. You want to make sure you're tracking in a way to where you're setting yourself up for success, right? So if you're tracking your weight every single day, that's not very successful because you're going to see that fluctuation and you're going to get a little bit frustrated. You're going to plateau at times, and sometimes you're going to have a massive weight loss. And then you might see a little bit of increase here and there. That's how our bodies work. That's how our bodies respond. Every time we do something new, our bodies need to adapt. We need to let our bodies adapt to the new things that we're doing. Right. And once it does adapt, that's what we're going to see as kind of a plateau. Right. And it might last a week. It might last, a couple weeks. But usually we break through that as long as we're introducing something new again. So it's very important that we should be tracking, especially a baseline. If you don't have a baseline, I'm going to teach you something today that's going to help you start that baseline as well as getting into that membership site. So there's a full course on how to start that as well. So what I would like to hear from you guys, since my guest actually isn't here right now, I want to hear some comments in the comment section. And I want you guys to tell me why you think it's important to actually track your progress, whether it's your fitness progress, your nutrition, weight loss, weight gain. We got guys in here that are trying to lose weight. We got guys in here that are trying to gain weight. I want to know why you think it's actually important. And if you think it's not important, then I want to hear why you think it isn't important. So comment below and tell me why you think it isn't important to actually track your progress, right? Now, I want to tell you guys, I was going to ask my guest here this, but let's talk a little bit about what's the best way to track your progress. All right. So the best way to actually track your progress. Well, first of all, this has kind of been a discussion the past couple of weeks. Y'all saw that I posted, how are you tracking your progress? And we got a ton of answers, great stuff. Like some people are using MyFitnessPal, some people are using journaling, some people are just standing on a scale, some people are just looking in the mirror, right? It really depends on you. It really depends on what works best for you. So what I would recommend when you're trying to track something is you need to find something you can get excited about. It's just like excited, ecstatic about. If typing in your macros in your meals in MyFitnessPal works for you and you love it and you can't wait till the end of the day, you're like, I'm going to type everything in, right? Kind of like what I like to do. You type everything in there and then that's great. But if you're someone that doesn't like doing that and it's just a task, it's a chore, well, you're not going to keep up with it, right? So there's better ways to do it. You need to find something that actually works for you. There's several different things you can do. One, like we discussed, you can find an app, right? And start tracking your nutrition and tracking your weight loss goals, weight gain goals, or tracking how much your PRs in the gym, like if you're trying to increase your bench press, or you're trying to increase your deadlift, track it that way. But you can also do like what I like to call a food journal, right? So a food journal, or sorry, a photo journal. So you can do it with food photos. You can do it with body measurement photos. You can do it with you can even do a video journal of you doing actual bench press or deadlifts, right? And the benefits of that is just, it's a snap and you're done, right? You just take a snap and you're done. That's your journal. Another form to do it is, writing in a journal, right? You can write things down, right? We should be tracking everything that we do, because if we're not, then the the benefits that we could get from those progresses, we can lose that. And what I mean by that is, when we look forward, we look backwards, like say it's like 3 weeks down the road, or maybe 3 months, or even a year down the road, you don't know where you started from, right? So if you don't know where you started from, how do you know how much progress you've made? And that's one of the main issues that I see in this industry, is that people fall off track because they don't think they're making any progress. Right? And it's very easy to not see progress, because you see yourself every single day. You're with yourself every single day. You look in the mirror every single day, and it's very hard to see shrinkage, or very hard to see growth when you're looking at yourself every single day, or even weighing yourself every single day. Right? You ever gone to like a family event, or a gathering at work, and it's been maybe a couple weeks when you haven't seen somebody, and you're on the track for your health and fitness, or maybe it's been 6 months, who knows? And someone says something to you, it's like, hey, have you lost weight? Or hey, you've gotten bigger, like muscular, or you've just gotten bigger unhealthy wise. You ever had someone respond to that, and then you just think in your head, like, well, I don't think I have. Well, that's because they see a more bigger picture, right? They can see you were here and now you're here, right? But for you, you just see those little tiny incremental steps of small decreases in weight, or small increases of muscle, not much change in your nutrition. Maybe if you tracked it at the beginning, you'd see, okay, you were this size, you were eating these type of meals, you were doing this in the gym, and then 6 months down the road, now you're doing this, right? And that's why it's really important to actually track what you're doing. We really need to have that bird's eye view, that full picture, the picture that everyone else is seeing. Your friends and your family, they're all seeing it. They're all telling you, you're getting progress, you're making progress. And we want to sustain that progress. You want to keep that progress, because if you're not tracking it, then you're not going to see that progress. So I want to peek over here at the comments here for just a second. I stopped tracking my weight, even though weight loss was my goal, because even though I had really good results, body transformation, fat and muscle, but the only thing I actually, okay, so Jason, yeah, so you were tracking weight and you stopped tracking weight. So that's it. I'm glad you say that, because what I use with people that I work with is what's called a 3-point system. You don't want to just use weight. You don't want to just use the scale. You want to use more than that. So the scale is just, that's basic, right? We don't do that here in the MDF group. So we're all better than that now. So after this podcast, we're all better than that now. We're going to put ourselves at a higher standard. So we need a 3-point system. All right, and 3-point system I use is weight, measurements, photos. Okay, so we need to start tracking our weight, our body weight, our tape measurements, specifically measurements. All right, so neck, waist, hip. I would just do everything in your body, because you want to track all that anyways. But for health reasons, for instance, you want to see if you're at risk of high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. You're going to want to look at neck, waist, and hip. All right, so get a tape measure. You can find these in an art supply store in like the linen sections, or you can find this in your sports store nearby. They'll have those tape measures, but get those in as well. But as well as progress photos. So if you look at all three of these together combined, you really get a bigger picture of what's going on. Because what's going to happen is, especially if you're trying to gain some muscle and lose some weight, well, you're going to see a weird fluctuation in that weight, right? Because muscle weighs more than fat. So you might see, the first week your weight's dropping, and all of a sudden it tapers off. You're like, oh man, I plateau. Well, no, you probably gain some muscle depending on what you're doing in the gym. It's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to respond differently. So you want to make sure you have those progress photos matched up with your weight so that you can see, okay, the weight is not going down, but when I look at my progress photos, I see some difference. I see some change. I see that my shirt's fitting differently, right? And I see my waist, my belly's not hanging over my waist the way it was before, even though the weight's kind of plateaued right here. And then furthermore, we got those body measurements to see what's come down and where, right? Because your belly isn't just going to all of a sudden shrink like this. You know, sometimes it'll shrink at the bottom, sometimes it'll shrink at the top, depending on how your body's going to respond to it. So I love that question. Keep bringing these questions in here, guys, or these comments in here, and we'll talk about it. But what I want to talk to you guys next is actually the Military Dads Fitness unique journaling system. So I don't know if you guys know this, but when you join a group on Facebook, you can actually, whenever you join any group on Facebook, actually, Facebook generates a profile for you. It's not your main profile. This is your Facebook group profile. Okay, so when you click on yourself, if you're in the group and you click on yourself, you'll see a log of every single thing you've ever posted in that group, no matter what group you're in. And so we can use this. We can definitely use this in this group to help keep you accountable and have a detailed log that you can always come back to. And that's why I always encourage you guys. You guys hear me all the time say, post in this group. Post your meals, post your wins, post your PRs, post your progress photos, post anything in here and just keep a log, because what you can do is you can always come back to that log and you can have a picture reference. You can have, if you have a question for me to directly, you can tag me in it, I'll respond. Or if you have a question for the group, like say you might want to ask, what's a good breakfast item, right? You might say, what's a good meal for breakfast? And then you get all these people comment below that post that you made, and then you can always come back to it. All right, so this log is going to be really crucial, important for you in your progress, especially if you're starting today. Even if you're not starting today, you can start using it right now and start posting stuff to the group. And then that way you can always click on your profile, your unique group profile to the Military Dads Fitness group, and just scroll on up and see where you started. I mean, I would encourage you guys to start posting your food journals in here, post your progress photos. I love to see it when you guys are at the gym and taking videos, and I love seeing y'all's bench presses and what exercises you guys are doing. So just keep posting that stuff to the group. I absolutely love it. I love commenting on those things and asking you guys what you're doing. So be sure to do that and use that log in order to keep that benefit of having that detailed journaling system. And then you get that, as long as you're in the group, you have that log for life, right? As long as you stay in the group, you have that log for life. Another thing you can do, and this is really good for the progress photos. Skylar, shout out to you, brother. I noticed you were doing this. You can make a album in this group, and any of y'all can make an album in here. I'm not going to stop you. You can make an album, a picture album in here. And if you were to take your first progress photos today and just create your own picture album and put it your name's picture album, you can always come back to that. And you can just click on that album. You can see your first progress photo, and then you can see your last progress photo. You can just do the same thing with nutrition. If you want to make your own nutrition album, post that as well. I'll be posting some recipes. Y'all see me post recipes in here as well. Y'all can grab those and then keep those in there as well, and just kind of put them in a comment section of your own little album in there and do whatever you want with it. All right, so I really want this group to really benefit you all in a way to where you can actually use it as your source of accountability. I want you guys to use this group in order to achieve the progress that we're all looking for here. All right, so that's all I want to talk to you guys about, tracking and having that journaling system, whether it's this group or whether you're tracking on an actual journal where you're writing things down every night, or you get an app and you're tracking on like MyFitnessPal or wherever you're tracking. I really want to encourage you guys to actually start doing this. Right, this process is really important. It is important for you to see some actual success and to see some actual results, because you can't see them if you don't know where you came from. Right, you can't really know what's going on in your body if you're not tracking this stuff. And because like I said, we are with ourselves all day long. You don't see those minor little changes that are happening throughout the day, every single day, much like your families and friends will if you haven't seen them in a couple of weeks and they say, wow, you lost some weight, you look great, or wow, you grew a beard, right? We grow beards every day. If I were to shave my face, I'm not going to see, throughout the entire day, the major difference. At 5 o'clock, I'm going to see a shadow, right? And then as I go along, it kind of seems like the same beard to me, right? Because you've grown with it. But if my cousin sees me shaved and then 6 months later down the road, he sees me with a big bushy beard, I'm going to look way different to him, right? But for me, I look the same throughout the whole process because it grows slowly. Same thing with your weight loss, same thing with your PRs in the gym and things that you're trying to do, same thing with your nutrition. You really got to start tracking this stuff. You really need a baseline. So I want to encourage everyone in here to just make your first post today and start using the Mdf log, your unique group profile, as a log to start that progress, right? Get that baseline in, progress photos, body measurements, body weight. If you're shy about the photos, that's fine. You don't have to put them in there, but at least take those pictures and have them in your phone, right? I would love to see you guys start using this log. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is something I'm really excited about for you guys, and that's the Military Dads Fitness membership site. So if you click on the link in the description of this, you can go directly to that membership site. I have a free program in there for you guys. I'm going to have some more information there as well as some tools. There's going to be some nutrition stuff in there as well, but take that first fundamentals course. It's really awesome, guys. I've worked on this to help you guys boost your progress, to help you guys really get started. And it's not just for people that are just getting started. It's for everybody. I want to make sure that there's something in there for everybody. So there's definitely something in there that you all can use. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that you can actually see what it kind of looks like. And let me pull this up. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There we go. I think I'm on the right screen now. Okay, here's a big screen. So you're going to see the big screen. So this is what the site looks like. This is the course I'm telling you guys about. So this is what you guys want to see. This is going to walk you guys through on how to just really get started with your health, fitness, nutrition. I'm going to have some cool stuff in here for you guys that's coming soon. So don't delay, guys. Just get on this site. It's absolutely free. I got a free course in there. So again, to get access to that course, just click on the link above this, or click on the link in the description of this live broadcast. And again, if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify or any of the other channels that this podcast is broadcast to, get into the Military Dads Fitness Facebook group right now. There's a lot of good conversations going on in there. We'd love to see you guys in there and love to have you. And hopefully you guys will join up on that progress. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys go through that fundamentals course and start making your posts, because I really want to interact with you guys and help you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to always reach out and post to the group, ask a group question. If you feel a little bit shy, feel free to direct me privately on the Facebook Messenger. I'd love to hear from you guys. That's it for today's podcast, and I will see you guys in the next podcast.